Top 10 Deadliest Big Animals in the Appalachian Mountains, starting with number 10. In the 10th place, the white-tailed deer emerges as the region's most lethal large animal, not by predatory attack, but through collisions on winding Appalachian roads. Across Pennsylvania's I-81 corridor alone, 1,842 deer-related crashes have been recorded between 2004 and 2023, with 27 confirmed human deaths in the mountain states. Nationally, deer vehicle collisions claim around 200 lives each year, a toll that far exceeds injuries from any Appalachian predator. GIS crash maps highlight danger zones where steep grades and sharp curves intersect deer feeding grounds, especially at dusk and during the fall rut. According to the CDC, white-tailed deer are the deadliest wildlife threat to American motorists. For those driving mountain roads at twilight, slowing down near forest edges can be a lifesaver. Number 9. The bobcat brings a quiet but very real threat to the Appalachian backcountry. With a home range averaging 2 to 4 square kilometers, these elusive felines often overlap with hiking trails and even suburban backyards. Most people never see a bobcat, but state wildlife logs confirm around 30 human injuries each year across the region, including 12 mall cases in West Virginia alone since 2019. Dusk and dawn are their peak activity hours, when hikers or children playing outside are most likely to encounter a territorial or, in rare cases, rabid bobcat. If you're on the trail at twilight, a strong flashlight can deter a close approach, an essential tip where wild meets human territory. 8th place goes to the wild boar, an invasive powerhouse whose aggression has redefined danger on Appalachian trails and farms. With tusks reaching up to 10 centimeters, these animals can charge at nearly 30 kilometers per hour, making escape on steep, narrow paths nearly impossible. Over the past 5 years, state wildlife agencies have confirmed 27 human injuries from boar attacks in the region, 6 of which required emergency surgery. Hotspots like the Shenandoah and Blue Ridge valleys now record densities exceeding 15 boar per square kilometer, amplifying the risk for hikers and livestock alike. Traveling in groups and maintaining noise on the trail are essential precautions, as startled boar are far more likely to charge than retreat. As their numbers climb, so does the urgency for caution in boar territory. Number 7. Elk return to the Appalachian landscape with a seasonal force that few expect. During the autumn ariua, bull elk become fiercely territorial, charging anything they perceive as a rival, including hikers and vehicles. In 2023 alone, 12 elk vehicle collisions were recorded on US 19, each with enough impact to total a car, or worse. Antlers on a mature bull can span up to 1.5 meters, turning a defensive display into a serious hazard for anyone too close. Last fall, park rangers documented 22 hiker injuries in just 3 weeks of the rut, most from sudden charges on narrow trails. The risk peaks at dawn and dusk, when elk are most active and visibility drops. For anyone traveling mountain roads or hiking near meadow edges during rut season, giving elk a wide berth and avoiding early morning or evening hours is the surest way to stay safe. Number 6. The coyote now fills a niche left vacant by the vanished eastern cougar, moving with ease from deep woods into the heart of Appalachian suburbs. After 2011, Camera trap studies tracked a 35% rise in coyote density across former cougar corridors, a direct result of the predator vacuum. This surge isn't just a rural problem. Incident logs from Virginia alone document 12 human injuries involving coyotes between 2019 and 2023, with attacks most often linked to territorial defense or food conditioning. Across the region, about 150 pets fall victim to coyote encounters each year, a figure that climbs as packs grow bolder around unsecured garbage and outdoor feeding stations. Chronic risk now extends beyond the trail into schoolyards and neighborhood parks. Simple steps like securing trash bins and supervising pets after dusk can blunt the edge of this expanding threat, but the coyote's adaptability ensures its presence will only intensify. Number 5. The American alligator brings a jolt of southern menace to the Appalachian edge, especially in the lowland rivers and backwaters near the foothills. While not a native resident of the high mountains, confirmed sightings as recently as 2022 along the Nolichucky River have startled biologists and locals alike, evidence that warming climates may be nudging these ancient predators northward. Alligators are built for ambush, lurking just beneath the waterline before exploding upward with a bite force measured at 2,125 psi, enough to shatter bone in an instant. Across the United States, alligator attacks average 3 deaths per year, but in the southern Appalachian fringe, the risk is less about numbers and more about the near certainty of fatality if an attack occurs. Between 2020 and 2024, 12 injury incidents were logged in the broader region, most involving anglers or children approaching shore nests. The best advice: never approach a sunning alligator or disturb shoreline nests, especially in warming years when their range may expand. In the Appalachian foothills, the water's edge now carries a new and very real kind of danger. Number 4. The timber rattlesnake brings a different kind of threat to Appalachian trails, one measured not in size, but in the potency of its venom. This species relies on hemotoxic venom with an LD50 of just 0.5 milligrams per kilogram, making a bite potentially life-threatening if not treated quickly. Between 2018 and 2023, medical centers in the region documented 23 serious envenomations, each with a narrow window for intervention. Timber rattlesnakes often bask on rock outcrops at elevations where popular hiking routes cut through their habitat, increasing the risk of a surprise encounter. For those bitten, the average time to reach a hospital is 45 minutes, a delay that can mean the difference between recovery and permanent tissue damage. Sturdy boots and a watchful step remain the best defense, especially in late spring and early fall when snakes are most active. In a landscape dominated by large mammals, the timber rattlesnake stands out as a reminder that danger in the Appalachians can be silent, sudden, and deeply medical. Coming to the top 3, the American black bear stands as the largest living mammal in the Appalachian Mountains, and with that size comes real risk. In 2022, Forest Service surveys revealed that 68% of black bears in the region were food-conditioned, meaning they had learned to seek out human food sources, from campsites to garbage bins. This behavior doesn't just lead to nuisance encounters. When a bear expects food and is surprised, its defensive charge can reach speeds of 25 kilometers per hour, closing the gap before most people have time to react. Between 2000 and 2023, there were 4 fatal black bear attacks documented in the Appalachians, with dozens more injuries resulting from startled or food-seeking bears. Encounters peak in spring, when bears emerge from hibernation hungry and bold. Their sheer power is hard to overstate. A single swipe can break bone, and an adult male can flip a picnic table with ease. The most effective way to reduce risk is simple, but often ignored. Always use bear-proof containers and never leave food unattended. By respecting their strength and understanding how human habits shape bear behavior, campers and hikers can help keep both people and bears safe in the wild heart of Appalachia. Number 2, the eastern cougar once ruled the Appalachian wilds as an apex predator, casting a long shadow over both settlers and native wildlife. In 1845, John James Audubon sketched a muscular mountain cat near Roan Mountain, capturing the fear and fascination these animals inspired. Throughout the 19th century, at least 15 fatal cougar attacks were recorded in the region, grim reminders that the Appalachian backcountry was never truly tame. By the early 1900s, relentless hunting and habitat loss drove the eastern cougar to the brink, shrinking its range by 70%. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service officially declared the species extinct in 2011, closing a chapter that had shaped both the ecosystem and the local imagination. But the cougar's absence left a vacuum. In the years that followed, coyote encounters in former cougar territory tripled, as documented in a 2018 study, signaling a dramatic shift in the region's predator hierarchy. The loss of this apex hunter has allowed mesopredators to surge, changing the balance of risk for hikers and livestock alike. The story of the eastern cougar is not just one of vanished danger, but of a landscape still adjusting to the disappearance of its most formidable feline. And finally, in first place, the American bison towers above all other Appalachian wildlife by both mass and myth. In the early 1700s, explorer William Byrd the Sen described herds of great buffalo grazing the valleys of Virginia, their numbers so vast that the ground trembled beneath their hooves. Herds often exceeded 200 animals, and when startled, they could stampede at speeds up to 35 miles per hour, 3 times the impact force of a charging elk. Biomechanical studies estimate that a full-speed bison stampede delivers enough kinetic energy to flatten small trees and, historically, posed a mortal threat to anyone caught in their path. Between the 1700s and 1800s, at least 12 human fatalities were recorded in the region, most involving accidental encounters along migration routes. The legacy of these ancient trails endures. The famed Buffalo Trace, once carved by migrating herds, now forms the backbone of the Alum Cave Trail in the Great Smoky Mountains. Modern GIS overlays confirm that many of today's hiking paths still follow the very corridors once thundered by bison hooves. As Byrd wrote, the thunderous sound of their march could be heard for miles. The American bison stands as a living memory of a time when Appalachian danger arrived not with a growl or a rattle, but with the ground itself shaking beneath a wall of muscle and horn. In the shadow of these vanished giants, every trail in the mountains carries a trace of their power and the enduring respect they command. Across all 10 of Appalachia's deadliest animals, one pattern stands out. Danger isn't just about fangs or claws, it's often the familiar that proves most lethal. In these mountains, survival depends on respecting both the wild's unpredictability and its history. Stay aware, and the landscape stays legendary.